Hello there and welcome back. I finally have a brand new video in a timely manner. It's kind of amazing. I think I deserve a high five for that. Who's gonna give me a high five? You're gonna run towards me. I'm gonna have my hand out and we're gonna do the whole jump high five thing, and then you go down and the camera zooms in on your freaking happy face and it just stops there and the credits roll and it's gonna be all 80s and shit. And I'll be like, yeah, that feels good. So you ready for I wasn't ready. Ow, 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 ow. I hit myself a little too hard there, but I forgive myself because I'm that kind of person. So you might have noticed that I started this image in black and white for some reason. And the reason is I'm gonna roll and drive your anticipation further. You're like, holy shit, I'm gonna learn something. I'm gonna learn a technique. I'm gonna learn a freaking big secret. There is no secret whatsoever, of course. We here in Paxi Land, we run the thing of I got no technique or knowledge on how I do things. I just do them. Actually, the reason is because I had 30 minutes of footage, which was just me filling out flats or blocking. Some people call it blocking. I don't know what it is. I don't have a word for it because blocking to me is more like you have a shape and you put in the colors and what the colors are, and then you render. That first part is blocking. The second part is rendering and then finishing touches and whatever. But I don't do any of that. That's crazy, right? That's nuts. That's how I roll, bruh. You come into this adventure, I'm a bull. I'm a bull. I'm gonna fucking take you for a ride. And then I'll become your friend because that's the kind of adventures I like to read about. So yeah, the whole beginning was just me going around, and the video was sped up a lot faster to accommodate that extra half hour. And it was about 10 minutes long. I made a preview video so I can start making commentary over it so I don't have to edit out my audio between pauses too much. And it was a little jarring. It was too much. This is 5 hours total, so I had to cut that part out and make the video less fast. I was like, the Sonic in me has to slow down. You gotta drive a car like everybody else, Sonic. I'm sorry. This is why you have kart games for some reason. Sometimes to go fast, you need to go slow. Or normal fast at least. So that was the whole beginning, me blocking out different elements of this piece, like Ajna herself, the flowers, and the other elements in the background. And then I can make layer masks on top of that and focus on those specifics. Making the hair, the beads, the flowers, not the stems, or the earrings, the eyes, the eyebrows, the hair. Stuff like that. And so you'll see a mess of layers pretty soon. But I know what's going on. I'm a master. And not knowing, but knowing at the same time. And I use the same technique as last time as well. There's nothing new here. There's no secret. I just used the pen tool, and there's nothing unique about that tool. There's not even a texture. It's just a flat round pen tool. And I guess people don't quite understand how I use it. I need you to freaking visualize it as I'm gonna try and explain to you in the best way I possibly can. When I pick up a color, I right click. When you hold right click, you will see for a second the eyedropper tool. So you just click it once and it'll pick up the color that you were just over. I was gonna say underneath, and I'm like, what the fuck? But ignore that. You're gonna fucking pick up the color that you were just over, and the color I pick up is the color that was just in the edge of the stroke I just made. That might seem a little hard to do, but that's why you click it several times until you get a better proximity color. I'm human. I'm not some machine that knows this shit. Don't worry about it. So you just pick up the color, and the closer proximity you do these constant strokes together, the softer blend you'll have. That's it. That's the secret. And you're gonna be like, what? You're fucking that gif of that dude just from fucking Tim and Eric and shit. That's you right now. I visualize it. You're just wow. And some of you are like, I already knew that. I'm just watching this video seeing you blah blah like an idiot. And I'm like, shit, well, And I'm just walking away, like, and freaking Charlie Brown music plays, the really somber kind, and I'm like, oh man, I thought I was being super cool and pioneering new techniques, new ventures into the art world, but I was wrong. I'm just generic as everyone else. I got nothing. I got nothing for live for. Nah, I'm just kidding. I was just trying to explain that there's really nothing to it. It just takes a little bit of patience and practice. And even then, my technique isn't the most tedious one. There are people that render hell. They just render super good. And they take such dedication into rendering. Of course, they use certain tools to make certain textures for the skin and all that. I don't use that. I use a more impressionistic look, I guess. I still want to be anime without being too anime, but still pretty anime. You feel me? Do you feel what you always the chocolate man? I just oh fuck. It hit in the same area. What the hell? Do I have a fucking death wish? My hand has a death wish. Damn it. That actually hurt. Ooh, mm. Rub those hands together. Give them power. Then I'll hover over your body. It's like, look at the power. I'm giving you the art skills. You're gonna seize the day. Freaking, uh, opus modus operandi, carpe diem. Get some Latin in there. But either way, you see me use a lot of gradients, and I use that word a lot, but it's not really a gradient. It's just me splashing color in a low opacity. Like I just lower the opacity on the layer, and it looks blended. So that's a little secret technique I like to use. But don't tell anybody. Actually, I'm gonna tell everybody because I thought it was common knowledge. But that's how I do these color blending and tints. Like you'll see it a lot by the end of the video. I use it a whole lot by the end of the video, where I just pick up a color so I can make a little wash and blend it all together. And it'll look like I painted it in, but I didn't. And I say gradients a lot, even though it's not gradients, because a gradient would mean that you go to Photoshop, you pick up the gradient tool, and you do that. What I do is I make a new layer, use the pen tool to put on the color that I want, and then I use the water tool on erase. You see that little square underneath the two colors, like the colors that you can switch around with the X button? Well, that will turn any brush tool you have on right now. It will turn it into an eraser, which is really cool. And a lot of people don't abuse of that. A lot of people tend to forget that. That's turn my water tool into an eraser water tool, and you smear your poo. You smear it around. You make a beautiful rainbow of color with that. Don't abuse of it though. There's a reason why I say that I'm using it more often in this image, because it's bigger and there's more elements in which I can use the tool with. Don't overuse it. Try to render your shapes as often as possible. Try to render them out, unless you want to focus everything on one image. Like there's many ways to go about this, and you can have the background be as simple as possible, minus one or two key features are rendered out. It's up to you. I like the way I did here. It looks nice. It looks simple. I go like yes. Draw the luscious lips. I go like mwah. Do I need another high five for that? No. I think my hand has enough high fives. It'll be no. No, don't stop that. That's annoying. Ow. Now I'm all tingly on the palm. That sucks. Put in some hot water and then cold water and then have that shit on my nerves. Don't do that. I don't recommend doing that. I'm joking around here. Just continue on rendering until you're satisfied, and that's what I do. I render until I'm satisfied. Usually the last thing I ever do is render the line art in, and I actually didn't record myself coloring the line art over. It's on linear burn, meaning it picks up the color that's underneath it. It doesn't just multiply into a darker color, it will saturate the layer it's from or whatever. I don't know how to explain the technicalities. It's magic. I'm a simpleton. I get a tool and I go like, oh yes, let's put some titanium white. Yes, some electric blue boogaloo here. make some happy blue lady. That's what I do. I don't know much of the technicalities, and maybe I should look into it further later in my life. I'm getting old. Not really. I feel pretty young at heart. I feel pretty strong. Do you feel strong? Fucking flex your muscles with me. Yeah. Gotta lose weight. Gotta get fit so you don't get hit. But the last thing I actually do on these images is I merge everything together and then I go over every single line. Basically, I line art. Why do I do that? I don't know. I think I do it because it looks very organic by the end. If you've seen my older works, if you've seen a commission, or actually one of the videos on commissions has some of that by the end, like the third video is usually always that because it takes quite a bit of time to go over each and every line again using the color it blended with so it looks solid. So maybe for the next video, you will see some of that. Probably not though, because it's a boring thing to go over. I'll probably show a little bit of it and I'll stop recording there and edit with the final image and whatnot. Which by the way, I took some of you's advice. You all wanted to see the picture at the end of the video. Even though I linked the image, I was like, it's easy to freaking edit in an image and make it zoom in and out and have some key money shots and whatever. You go like, that's good money shot. I like the detail on that little zoom in. It's actually not a zoom in. It's actually the 100% of the image. And I also got a question about that. Like, they didn't quite understand what the 100% means. And it means when you go to your Photoshop or Paint tool, any art program, there's a zoom in button, right? Or there's a zoom in like scale. Usually the 100% means the real pixel size of that image. You go to 100%, that's the size of the pixels. Like, oh my god, it's so cool. No, that's real size of the pixel, bruh. Like, you'll see it a lot in pixel art as well. They use that 100% to show you the fine detail and stuff. Not the fine detail, but the actual size of the image. And the zoom in will be like 200% or 400%. The zoom out is less than 100, of course. That's what I mean by 100%. 100% is the real size of your image. And that's what you're going to see. And it's actually way bigger than than the size of this computer's screen. It's kind of cool. I'm like, yeah. I did that with my own two hands. I'm super good. And that's all. That's all I have to share for today. I'm glad I didn't go and gush about Indivisible, which you should check out. I'm glad I'm plugging that in the very last second of the video. Isn't that great? And you got to hear about other shit other than Indivisible because that's all I'm thinking about because it's very close to the end of its campaign. I want it to succeed. I want more female characters in video games that are POCs. They're cool. She looks like she's inspired by Southeast Asian cultures like India, for example. But I see a lot of African shit going on, and I like that. I go like, yeah. So give me some of that Egyptian, Middle Eastern bullshit. Give me that. And it has a bunch of other cultures as well. You don't get left out. You're just the minority this time, which is awesome. Either way, I say either way a lot. I just noticed that, but fuck me, right? Don't worry, just shake it in there. And not like that, motherfucker. Ah, Jesus. Anyway, check out Indivisible. It's in the description of the video. Don't worry about it. Damn it. Shit.